Drop your city in the comments and tell us where you stand on this. With Caitlin Clark declaring she's fully healthy, are the Indiana Fever now on a fast track to contention? Tap like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for daily WNBA news, Indiana Fever updates, and the stories shaping women's basketball right now. We finally have the update everyone has been waiting for, and it didn't come via a team press release or carefully worded medical note. On November 13th, Caitlin Clark said it herself, plainly and publicly, she feels back to 100%. No hedging, no vague timelines. Just a definitive injury update from the Indiana Fever's franchise cornerstone, delivered on camera, and captured by NBCOlympics.com during her appearance at the Annika driven by Gainbridge Pro-Am in Florida. If you're an Indiana Fever fan, that sentence changes the temperature of your entire off-season. It resets expectations, reframes how last season is evaluated, and places a spotlight squarely on what comes next on the court, in free agency, and across the broader WNBA landscape. Let's lay out what this means and why the timing matters. Clark's update landed in the most casual setting possible, a charity pro-am, a few swings between laughs, and a long putt that sent the gallery into a frenzy. The setting was light, but the message wasn't. After a year complicated by a nagging groin issue and a later season ankle bone bruise, she put the speculation to bed. The player herself is telling the league, the media, and her fan base that the physical barriers are gone. That makes the upcoming season an accountability test for everyone around her. The immediate basketball implications are obvious. The Fever battled through a tumultuous campaign that, at its best, flashed a blueprint for a fast-paced, sharpshooting identity. At its worst, the team struggled to maintain spacing, flow, and late-game composure. A fully healthy Clark resets their offensive ceiling. Her shooting gravity stretches defenses, her vision speeds up decision-making, and her presence in late-clock situations reduces empty trips. That's not theoretical, those traits were visible even as she played at less than full strength. The broader stakes are just as significant. Clark's comments were published by NBCOlympics.com, a platform choice that quietly signals the bigger picture. Team USA is in view. A clean bill of health is not only about the Fever. It's about re-entering the national team conversation and proving she belongs among the United States' best guards on the world's biggest stage. That dual-track, WNBA impact and national team ambitions raises the urgency for her preparation, and for the Fever's roster construction, right now. How did she look at the Pro-Am? Comfortable. Relaxed. Competitive. Between jokes about slicing the driver and reminders that golf is still very much a hobby, there were indicators that matter to basketball: clean rotation through the torso, fluid follow-through, and the kind of effortless energy that wasn't always visible late last year. She talked about enjoying Indianapolis fall weather, then headed south to Florida, using a lighter calendar window to recover and train. The intent was clear: this downtime is strategic. Everything she did and said pointed to readiness. Now, here's where the story widens. The Annika Pro-Am wasn't just an exhibition for Clark. It became an unexpected forum for league-level news and player transparency. Alongside Clark's injury update, Sophie Cunningham, who served as a caddy during the event, delivered candid remarks about her own future. She praised Clark as a phenomenal and generational player who elevates everyone around her, and said outright she wants to run it back next season. But she also laid out the reality facing many veterans. She's a free agent, she wants a multi-year deal, she's thinking about long-term stability, and she's watching the league's labor situation closely. That contrast, Clark's certainty about her health and Cunningham's caution about the business landscape, captures the WNBA's off-season in one snapshot. The league and the Players' Union extended the collective bargaining agreement past its original October 31st deadline by a month, avoiding an immediate break but not resolving core issues. Until there's clarity, veterans outside rookie deals are navigating free agency in a haze. For players like Cunningham, the difference between securing a multi-year contract and facing a lockout isn't theoretical. It dictates whether you can buy a house, plan for a family, or commit to a market. There's also a new financial reality tugging at decisions. Alternative opportunities, headlined in recent months by reported Project B offers, have been framed around significant minimum salaries and potential multi-year guarantees. The exact figures vary by report, but the message is unmistakable. There are deals out there that dramatically improve earning power for top women's basketball players. Add the long-established overseas pipeline to that calculus, and you can see why a hypothetical 3-year, 8-figure contract abroad becomes a compelling option. At 29, Cunningham understands her window, the toll the sport takes on the body, and the value of a secure runway into the next chapter of life. She's not alone. That's the environment the Fever must navigate as they build around a fully healthy Clark. This isn't simply about adding shooting or upgrading the backup 5. It's about timing roster moves with the pace of labor talks, understanding how new money changes negotiation leverage, and forecasting what the guard rotation, spacing, and defensive profile should look like if Indiana expects to climb a tier in the standings. Every decision now gets judged in the context of maximizing Clark's peak years. There's a media lesson tucked into all of this as well. The casual setting of a pro-am delivered more meaningful news than some formal pressers. Clark took control of her narrative, spoke plainly, and prevented any future soft peddling of her status. It was player agency on display. If anyone tries to muddy the waters later, be it a cautious team note or a misframed update, the on-the-record statement from November 13th is now the standard. She said she's back. Full stop. From an Indiana Fever perspective, that clears the runway. No more caveats. No more health qualifiers in post-game breakdowns. If there are bumps, they'll trace to scheme, personnel, or execution, not rehab. That's fair to everyone involved. It allows analysts to evaluate Clark by her decision-making, shot profile, and defensive positioning rather than by what she's managing physically. It allows the coaching staff to design around who she is at her best. And it allows the front office to make moves without waiting on a medical timeline.
The pressure is real, and it should be. With Clark at full speed, Indiana's offense needs to sharpen. The pace can tick up, but the half-court must become more precise. Expect an emphasis on dribble handoff timing, two-person actions that create downhill lanes, and off-ball relocation that turns defensive overhelp into corner threes. On the other end, the Fever must protect Clark's usage by tightening pick-and-roll coverage and reducing the number of possessions where she's absorbing the heaviest physical toll defensively. That's how you sustain a star through a long season and preserve her at the moments that decide games. The fan base knows this. So does the league. That's why the reaction to Clark's 100% declaration was immediate. It's not just relief, it's a reorientation. You could feel it in the way Fever supporters talked about next season within hours of the interview running. The standard has moved from keep improving to produce results. Playoff expectations are not a stretch, they're the baseline. A deep run isn't a fantasy. It's the kind of target that makes the weight room, film sessions, and roster decisions matter in November just as much as they will in July. Meanwhile, Cunningham's remarks kept the other half of the conversation grounded. She wants to return. She wants multiple years. She wants security. And she's not blind to the choices available if the WNBA's CBA talk stall or if the market underprices a value. That reality is reshaping how veterans negotiate. It forces teams to compete on stability and structure, not just fit and culture. It also reinforces a point players have been making privately and publicly for years. Stars grow leagues, but long-term growth requires treating rank-and-file veterans as core partners in that process. Let's zoom back to Clark's comments on NBCOlympics.com and the Team USA angle for a moment. The international calendar sits atop every elite guard's to-do list. A healthy, in-rhythm season not only propels a franchise but becomes a resume for national team selectors. Clark's competitiveness and shooting range fit modern international basketball, especially when paired with guards who can toggle ball handling and off-ball gravity. If she stacks efficient months and commands games late, those Olympic and World Cup conversations will get louder. There's a media strategy component here too. The Annika Pro-Am stage underscored how cross-sport appearances can serve multiple audiences. Golf got a surge of new viewers. Women's basketball grabbed a window to deliver news. Clark gave a health update that dominated both timelines. Fans who showed up for the novelty stayed for the substance. That's a growth loop every women's sports property should be studying. What comes next for Indiana is clear on paper and hard in practice. The Fever need to surround Clark with consistent shooting, rangy defense on the wing, and an interior presence that punishes switches without clogging the lane. They need to add late-game offense that isn't solely dependent on Clark's shot-making. They also need continuity, lineups that log real minutes together in the first half of the season so that late spring looks like refinement, not trial and error. With ticket demand surging and national windows likely, there won't be much margin for early malaise. The front office, in turn, faces a tighter clock. Every signing and draft choice will be weighed against a simple question. Does this help Caitlin Clark be Caitlin Clark for 30-plus minutes every night while making the Fever harder to guard and tougher to score on? If the answer is not an immediate yes, move on. That's the discipline contending teams develop. It's also time to say the quiet part out loud. There are no more injury alibis. Clark removed them. That's good for the league. It keeps the discourse sharp, the analysis honest, and the goals ambitious. It's also good for Clark. She's at her best when the bar is high, the expectations are real, and the moment is big. November 13th, put a line in the sand. The season ahead will measure how quickly Indiana crosses it. Finally, the Cunningham subplot is more than one guard's free agency. It's a case study in where the WNBA is headed. Player empowerment is no longer a slogan. It's a market condition. Lucrative alternatives, be they overseas or emerging ventures, create leverage. A potential lockout, even if avoided, creates uncertainty. Veterans want stability. Teams want flexibility. The league wants growth. All three can coexist, but it requires clarity on revenue, travel, scheduling, and compensation that meets the moment. The next few months will tell us whether that alignment is within reach. For now, the headline stands on its own. Caitlin Clark says she's 100%. The words were simple. The impact is massive. Indiana's timeline just accelerated. The WNBA's offseason just got more urgent. And a Pro-Am golf afternoon proved that sometimes the biggest news breaks in the most unexpected places. What do you want to see from the Fever on opening night? Which free agent should Indiana target to maximize Clark's skill set? And how should the WNBA position itself amid a changing player market? Drop your thoughts below. Like the video if you're ready for tip-off. Subscribe for daily WNBA news and Indiana Fever coverage. And turn on notifications so you never miss a report. Caitlin Clark is ready. Now it's on the Fever and the league to meet the moment.